Hello folks, welcome back to the channel, and hopefully the third and final part, well, aside from recording tests, for the first of my two ZX-5s. I'm anxious to get this done today so I can get my money back out of it and pay for the ludicrously expensive deck I just bought Friday. Anyway, I won't talk about that because I don't exactly know what I'm doing with that deck yet, so that will remain a secret for now. What will not remain a secret is all of the procedures I will be doing to calibrate this particular tape deck in order to get it ready for a new owner and a new home. But before we actually get into this, I thought maybe we should talk a little bit about what I'm going to have to do to sell this deck and other such things. You see, I've been having more than a few inquiries for service come in from the United States, so I thought maybe I should take a look into that some more to see if maybe I can service decks for people in the United States after all. And I kind of have to do this anyway in order to possibly sell this deck, because I need to know exactly what I'm doing for shipping and stuff. So I decided to go ahead and look into that, and unfortunately the news isn't good there. Because of where I live, the courier options are completely off the table, most of them anyway. I found out that 12-volt Vids is able to get around the tariff stuff in the United States right now by using UPS. Basically what he does is he hands off the parcel to UPS and they handle things from there. They bill the tariffs directly to the customer, not to him. But unfortunately, UPS is a non-starter where I live. UPS and FedEx both use third-party couriers to service my area, and these third-party couriers are sometimes extremely unreliable, so I can't depend on them. So basically what I have to do is I'm limited to Canada Post only. Unfortunately, Canada Post collects the tariffs in advance from yours truly. So that is not an option I'm willing to consider right now, unfortunately. I have no idea what the tariffs would be. I have no idea what to ask the customer. And it's just because I have such a major anxiety disorder, I can't really do anything about that. So this also means that me selling my decks is going to be all that much harder as well. So I think what I'm going to have to do is eBay. That's all there is to it. eBay offers international shipping services to Canada now. So basically what I would do there is I would just send the deck off to their international shipping warehouse, and then they handle things from there. So in that way, I'm able to actually sell this deck to anybody in the world. But that's the only way I would be able to. If you contact me directly through YouTube or something, through the email I've got in my profile, basically the only way I'd be able to sell the deck that way is to Canadians only. And fortunately for Canadians only, I'd be able to take email money transfers and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just easier if I do it through eBay. So here's the deal on this deck. After this video is done, it's going to go into a couple of weeks worth of stress testing just to make sure it holds up and there are no further problems. After that is done, I'll line up the recording test for it, and at that time I'll make plans to list it on eBay at the same time. That way the customer can see everything that's been done to this deck through my videos if they would like to, and there will be a good representation of what the actual deck will perform like at that time. Anyway, we need to finish this deck up and calibrate it. So that is what today's video is going to be. I have everything listed out here that we're going to be doing to this. Let's talk about some of this stuff right away. There's some mechanical stuff we have to do first before we get into the electrical stuff. So if I can find a pen. Let's see, what do we need to do on this? Well, we don't have to do pressure adjustment of take-up pressure roller or pinch roller. I never see that being a problem on this. If it is a problem, we'll find it immediately when we check the tape path, which is the next item on here. So we'll do that. Eject damper. Well, let's have a look at that real quick. Working fine. No need to change anything there. So we can get rid of that. Now down here, this is the critical one. Real motor speed calibration. We will do that on camera. And then after that, it's just tape speed adjustment, and then we can get into the electrical stuff. So let's get started, shall we? Tape path checking. That is what we're doing first. I will fire the deck up, and by the way, this is at 120 volts. The deck is no longer going to be used at 100 volts because I did the conversion, and I need to be certain that the conversion is going to hold up for the customer who eventually gets this thing. So as you can see, the capstans are working. I'm going to just close this real quick, and we'll do a quick check to see if it goes into play and whatnot. Fast forward and rewind appear to be working fine. That is good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lose my mind and lose my train of thought. I will get my path checker tape. That's what I'm going to do. This one that's got all the big section of it cut out of it. This, if the deck is working properly, should be no problem for this deck. So let's see if it is working. Now, can I get you in far enough to see this? And also to a point where I can see it. We're going to be looking for tape curl around any guides, any issues with the tape travel, if it's moving back and forth, all that kind of stuff. So, going into play now. Don't see any problems. Playback head height might be a little off, but we'll calibrate that as well. Okay, that's a pass as far as I'm concerned. My next approach will be to take this test tape. This is a mirror tape. I just want to double check, even though I just used the cutout tape, and I want to see if there are any issues with this tape. Because if there are any issues, now is the time to catch them. Okay, can we see this? I have to get way down here. You guys can't see what I'm gonna be looking for here. I have to look straight in from the front because this is a mirror tape. Okay, playback. Once again, no issues. So that tape comes out. Okay, next test tape. Torque checker. This is what we're going to be doing next, and what we are going to be doing next is talk in a convoluted way so you can't tell exactly what I'm thinking here. We're doing this next, the real motor speed adjustment in play mode. And what we're looking for here is, let's see, to warm up the cassette deck, load a C60 tape and play. Actually, I haven't done that. All right, see you in 4 minutes. All right, just coming up on 4 minutes now. And that's 4 minutes. So the deck is warmed up. It's been playing the whole time. No issues. So the procedure now is to get my torque tape back in there. And now we go into play mode and we check the torque. And if the take-up torque is anywhere not around 50 grams per centimeter, then we have to adjust VR 601, which is right down yonder about. So let's see what we got. We need to check the back tension as well. We'll do that real quick. Okay, we got 40 grams per centimeter and about 8 for back tension. 40 grams needs to come up a little bit, so I will try to do that. If I can get the screwdriver into the adjustment. Adjusting. Oh, actually, it's right there right now. Okay, we are at factory spec for that. I'm going to mark down my values here for the report card that I will be making up. I am very happy with the way this is going so far. So we are doing well. Which, considering my luck today, is probably going to mean the wheels are about to fall off this, but I don't really think so. This deck's doing well so far. So the next procedure in our little odyssey here is tape speed adjustment. And for that, I need the laptop out. Lubrication, we can ignore that. That's all been done. And yes, we're into the electrical stuff now. So let me get the laptop set up and we will get going on that. Okay, double D7 test calibration tape going in. I will remind you that this is not a proper calibration tape. It's just good enough to do the job, basically. With that said, we should still get a fairly decent representation of what the wow and flutter looks like on this particular machine. So let's go to it, shall we? Looking very good, 0.027%. Speed is almost dead on the money. I will try to get in here to calibrate this. All right, have I got it? Yeah, I got it, but I went the wrong way. Okay, 3001, I'm okay with that. We're doing fine there. I don't know what Windows is doing, but it's annoying me. Anyway, now we test the usability of the pitch control. We'll see if it's stable. I'm going to turn the pitch down first. Just a bit. See if it holds here with stability. Wow and flutter is down to 0.024%, 23%. Oh, I love that. Major success on that, and the speed looks stable, so let's go down all the way to the bottom and we'll see what it does there. .10.2 hertz, still extremely stable. Okay, I'll go back to midpoint. We'll see if it bounces back to 3001. And it is. I think we're going to be able to keep this pitch control. I don't need to replace it. I've gone up now. Very stable. Okay, I'm going to jack it up all the way. Look at the wow and flutter. It's getting even better. Okay, this is all the way up. 3211 hertz. Yeah, very stable. I'm happy with this. Back to center. I turned it down rather abruptly, so... Well, it's sitting at 2999.8. There might be a little bit of an issue with the pitch control, but I just made a little adjustment there. And no, I'm satisfied. Deck is doing very well, and I have to rewind my tape now because it's been running for a little bit now. Okay, so that's been done. Now we get into the recording stuff, probably. Let me just check my little notes here. Oh, I forgot to do something important. I forgot to get a screenshot for my eBay listing. Give me a second. Let me do that. Okay, continuing alignment. I decided I had to step away yesterday because I suddenly felt sick. Nothing I ate. It seems to be spring allergies or something like that. Anyway, I had to all of a sudden endure my brain wanting to shut down on me for no particular reason whatsoever. So I had to come back at this on Wednesday. So we will continue on Wednesday. And I've made some notes here. It's kind of a good thing that I actually had to stop because I'd forgotten what a convoluted cotton-picking nightmare of a calibration the meter calibration was on this particular deck. In fact, the tape heads forum is full of people complaining about this step. And in fact, the way Nakamichi has you doing it is kind of nonsensical, so I'm not going to do it the way Nakamichi says to do it here. They say, set the output level control to max, feed in 400 Hz, adjust input level to obtain 1 volt, minus 4 decibels, adjust such and such control so that the 0 dB segment of the level meter just starts to light up, then adjust the input level control to obtain 1 volt plus 1 decibels, and then check to ensure the upper segment of the 0 decibel segment starts to illuminate. But it doesn't actually work that way on the actual deck because the two segments are one LED. So it's generally accepted that the best way to do this is to move the meter calibration down here to after playback level calibration. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use my Dolby tape to do that instead. But first we have to do playback head and azimuth. Well, playback head, azimuth, and track alignment at the same time, as it were. Okay, next thing to do is track head adjustment. Or head height adjustment. Okay, I think I've got it right here. Tape is in. And now I've done this before on camera, but what we're basically going to do here is we're going to adjust the playback head height, that's this center gear, until the signal in the scope is equally low on both channels. Like I said, I've done this on camera before, but we can do it again. Okay, let's go for it. And it already looks pretty good, but I will just check. I'm doing it now. Oh, this adjustment's tight. I gotta put some force on it. All right, seems like that was actually set quite well from the factory. Did not need to be done at all. Perfection is not possible, but we can at least do better than this with the tools I have, I think. Actually, right there. That's it. That is the adjustment. And now we do azimuth. Or if your brain's flaking out like mine is, azimuth. Okay, so I had the camera not rolling for that entire last segment while I was adjusting azimuth. I think it's there now, but I just wasn't exactly sure because the tape was kind of jumping around, so I'm going into XY mode to double check. And it's kind of jumping around here as well. The 15 kilohertz tape is a little bit harder to work with. Than the 10K tape is. I think that's it right there. Can I do something about this? This is annoying. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, that's pretty well lined up, I think. Okay, what's next? Let's see. Playback level calibration, and we will do that at the Dolby chip, which is IC 102 and 202, and you can't see this. And we're looking at for 366 millivolts at pin 8. And once again, thanks to Nakamichi at Tapeheads Forums for coming up with these values for me and everybody else. Much appreciated. All right, Dolby Einstellung tape going in. And I will rewind it a bit because I need to. We'll hit stop there, and I need to adjust on what control. VR 101 and 201. We'll do 101 first and check at the relevant IC. Let's see, where's my screwdriver? There it is. Now where's my adjustment at? I can't find it. I printed out the diagram though, so I will find it real quick here. VR 101 and 201 are way up in that corner, so that should be easy. So I gotta try to do this so I can adjust and so you can see what I'm adjusting and what I'm adjusting to. And the display on the scope as well. So I gotta take my scope and protect the ground from shorting something out. And VR 101, I will see if I can get my adjustment tool down to it. And not very easily. Anyway, let's see, 101, where's pin 8? So let's hit play. Auto the scope. Ignore channel 2 because that's still off the deck outputs. Okay. 360. Oh, it's dead on the money. No adjustment needed. Okay, let's go to the other channel, the one that's currently on channel 2. Kind of hard to get to this one. And yet I have 320 something. Oh, it came off the pin. Okay, this one does need adjusting. So let's adjust. If I can keep the friggin' probe on the pin. Okay, are we not adjusting here? No, we're not, but now we are. Right there. And now we do the meter cal, which, as you are about to see, does need to be done. See, we need to be at 0 dBs right there, so left channel is good, right channel is not so good. Let me just check this and see where that adjustment is. I'll stop for now. Okay, I have found the adjustment. It's on this little board here that the recording head attaches to. Why the record head attaches there, I don't know, but whatever. Okay, VR 208 must be adjusted. If I can even get my screwdriver down to this control. Hope I'm on the right one here. Soon find out. Yeah, that's the right one, all right. There. It's just starting to light up the +3, so I need to adjust it a little bit more yet. if and I can. That looks pretty good right there. So that's done. I had the scope shut off for a minute while I looked for the actual control to calibrate, but whatever. We have found it, so we can proceed. Okay, next stuff is playback frequency response adjustment. We will do that with a laptop. Bias oscillation frequency and erase current, that will probably not need to be done. We'll know if it needs to be done during the recording amplifier adjustments, which is coming up pretty quick here. All right, folks, I decided to go back over the azimuth and Dolby level adjustments with the ON scope because I wasn't entirely satisfied with the way the Finersi scope was actually performing during those adjustments. And I have to tell you that the ON scope is better for the actual azimuth adjustments than the Finersi scope is. I don't know why that is, but it just works better on this scope. But thankfully I did that because the azimuth was just ever so slightly off, and I just want this deck to be perfect, and now it is perfect. It's got a little bit of a roll-off at 15 kilohertz on, I think, the right channel, but nothing too serious. So I don't know if the head is actually in perfect shape in this thing, the playback head, but it is what it is. It's going to have to do. I'm not replacing that head. There's no point doing that. So we will just continue and see what the playback frequency response actually is, because that's what we're doing next. We got to use the laptop for that, like I mentioned. Anyway, I went over the Dolby levels again. They're perfect now, and meter calibration is perfect, so we can continue. Okay, we will now check the playback frequency response, and we're going to see real quick if there's a problem with that one channel that's a little bit lower than the other one. If it's not too bad, I'll leave it alone. If it is, then we'll have to change the playback head coupling capacitors for that channel. So I'm going to go in with this tape, which is the GXZ9100 recorded white noise tape. That deck is flat to over 21 kilohertz, so this will reveal any problems real quick. And here we go. We'll let it play for a little bit just to see what happens. Not great, not terrible. Little bit of a level imbalance yet, even after calibration. Let's see, the left channel is just slightly weaker than the other. They're both tracking pretty much evenly though. But yeah, as I'm watching it, I'm kind of thinking maybe we tweak those playback head coupling capacitors just a little bit and see if we can get her flat to 20 kilohertz. I think we can do it on this deck. So, let me shut this off. I'm not going to touch my playback level adjustments at all because I just calibrated them. I know they're correct. So what we'll do right now is, well, actually what I want to do is, since I was just playing this, we're going to check the temperature of the heat sinks right here. 33 degrees. Yes, this is, say, for 120 volts. I might do this again later, but those transistors there are rated for 150 degrees and 175 degrees, depending on which transistor you're talking about. So the fact that we're sitting only at 32 degrees is just fine. Deck is 100% safe for 120 volts. So I'll shut the deck off now and the laptop off now because we need to talk about these coupling capacitors real quick. Okay, now we are looking at the service manual, and we know by the playback head performance of this that the head is a little bit worn on this deck, so we're going to have to compensate for that. And the way we're going to do that is by changing the coupling capacitors. And the ones we're looking at are C102 and 202 right there. Nakamichi has used a 0.01 microfarad cap there. And the way we're going to affect the frequency response is by changing the value of those capacitors. And we're going to do it on both channels because they're both equally rolling off where they shouldn't be. So hopefully we can flatten this out. If we can't, I'll put the original caps back in. They're going to be something like small ceramic or film capacitors. I will go in with WEMA on each side. I think I've got some 0.015s. I think I'll try that first. If that's too much, then I'll have to go back to the 0.01s and then add some capacitors in parallel. Anyway, I'll get it figured out. I will report back when I do. All right, folks. I could have just gone ahead and finished reading the calibration instructions in the manual. That would have helped. Anyway, there is an actual adjustment for playback frequency response. What they want you to do to fix any issues is to short R109 and or R110 or 209 and 210 to fix any issues. And as you can see right here, I've shorted both of them, and I will show you what that does. Here we go, play. That's not play. What am I doing? That was fast forward. I got to rewind now. Okay, now here's play. Look at that. That fixed one channel. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other channel, and we should be good to go. All right, both channels are done. Let's see where we're at now. That looks a heck of a lot better to me. I don't know about you guys. We will take that right there. We are flat to, oh, let's see. Trying to figure out where my plus and minus 3 decibel point is. Yeah, I think we're there. It's at least plus minus 3 decibels to 16 kilohertz, and that is more than good enough for me. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about the people potentially buying this deck, but I'm happy with this. So I will rewind my test tape here, and we will continue our calibration. All right, so I have been editing my footage as I go along, and I'm a little bit concerned about something I saw during the playback frequency response calibration. I'm a little bit nervous about that gigantic rise in high frequency energy as the tape starts playing, but I can't figure out why that would be. It's not the head condition, or the head cleanliness, as it were, because I cleaned it multiple times. It's not the alignment, because the alignment's good now. Remember, I double-checked it with the ON scope and fixed the azimuth. It's not the head demagnetization status, because I've done that several times now, including before I got on camera with you right now. So I don't know. I don't think it's anything to do with the tape path either, because everything in there looked perfect. The tape was tracking perfectly. It didn't move around. So I don't know exactly if there is an actual issue there. There may not be an issue at all. So you guys will have to let me know what you think about that, because I know there will be several accomplished technicians actually watching this video. And really, the time to catch something like that is right now, while the deck is still in front of me and before it goes off to a customer's house. And certainly before the CR70 comes in.
Uh-oh. Did I say that or just think it? I gotta think of a line fast.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I bought. My wallet's not happy, but I'm happy. I probably won't be able to keep that deck either, but we'll see what happens. I don't know exactly when that's going to be even on the channel, because kind of thinking Christmas 2027, also kind of thinking 10,000 subscriber special, also kind of thinking maybe I might need to get my money back out of that thing sooner. Anyway, enough about that. I got to finish my editing, and then I think I'll come back on Thursday, which is tomorrow, to finish off the record head alignments, because I think that's about all that's left. Record head and record head frequency response of recorded signals going in. Bias calibration, that's what I was reaching for there. All right, one more quick little update before I go off camera here on Wednesday afternoon. It occurred to me that the frequency response rise I might have been seeing could have been responsible or could have been caused by improper intercapstan tension. So I checked that. It's fine. No issues found there. From there, I decided to go ahead and recheck the azimuth, and no issues found there either. So I don't know what to tell you guys, but I have checked one more time on the laptop the frequency response, or the white noise tape, and it's still tracking perfectly with the GXZ9100, and it's no longer doing that weird frequency response rise. So I don't know what was going on with that, but the deck is flat to 21 kilohertz now, so I'm very pleased with it. I don't know, I guess we'll just go ahead and keep on keeping on, and like I said, come back on Thursday and finish this up. All right, since the last time I went on camera with you guys, I've wasted a ton of time trying to chase down a high frequency issue which was kind of there and kind of not there. The issue was actually the recording on my white noise tape here. Some deck or another seems to have damaged the recording at the very start of the tape, so that it was giving me the wrong impression of how this deck was doing. In fact, this deck isn't as worn out as I thought it was. In fact, I've had to take one of my jumper wires out on both sides. I can show you later, but I'll show you what it's doing right now that I'm into an undamaged section of that tape. Here we go. You see, it's dead flat now to 21 kilohertz. Well, it wasn't before on this same section of tape. It was very peaky at 21 kilohertz, and I confirmed that by listening to the deck. Basically what I did was I took a bunch of tapes I recorded on other machines and ran them through this with my Bayer Dynamic headphones, and every single one of those tapes sounded like it had too much treble. So that got my suspicions up. So what I did was I took this tape and ran it through this using my OWON oscilloscope, and I monitored the playback levels of every frequency that I could get out of this. And I got the numbers right here, and they confirmed what I suspected. Way too much treble up high here, so thankfully that should be fixed now. This thing had me second guessing my GXZ9100. That's how much time I wasted on this. But no, it's just some machine or another kind of erased the high end on this. I'm not exactly sure which machine would have done that, but I think it kind of rhymes with the GX93. We know the heads in that one are worn to the point that they are able to erase high frequency information. I think that's what happened to it, because I know I ran this tape through that machine. Anyway, actually maybe I should leave it right where it is and not rewind this. Anyhow, because I wasted so much time on this issue, I have decided to kick the record head calibrations into the next video, which is the record test video. I think I made a lot of progress with this. This thing sounds amazing now. This thing's outperforming just about every deck I can think of, except for the really high-end stuff I've got, so I'm very happy with how it's turning out so far. Anyhow, yeah, the other issue is I haven't had any sleep hardly this week at all. I've just been so stressed out. And I don't think I can blame that on the CR70 either, even though that was a very high dollar purchase, but whatever. I didn't show you which jumper wire I removed, did I? Anyway, I will do that now. Let's see. It's the one over R109 and R209 I removed. The 210 and 110 jumpers are still in place. I'm going to leave it like that, I think. The deck sounded amazing before I took those other two jumpers out. It's just it had a little too much high end. And if there's one thing the Bayer Dynamic DT880s are good for, it's revealing extreme high end. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Take care.